Morning. When many of us in the room wrote our YouthPower proposals, seems like a decade ago, we started the proposal 357 million youth out of work and out of school around the world. I think YouthPower is probably starting to bring that number down, and hopefully we'll learn that later today. But whatever the number is today, it's a lot of youth on street corners, vulnerable, marginalized, frustrated, vulnerable to people coming up and tapping them on the shoulder and saying, hey kid, want to join a gang? Want to blow something up? What if they had an alternative? What if they had something equally exciting, equally big, audacious? For the first time in history, I truly believe we have the opportunity to build an inclusive, equitable, sustainable world with the Sustainable Development Goals, the global goals. But we're not going to get there without the full participation of half the population in the world, which is youth. So at Creative Associates, where we realize we're doing a lot of positive youth development, we're doing a lot of work on GIS and mapping, what if we bring this together? What if we empower youth in their hands, on their smartphones, to be able to make and map and measure progress on the Sustainable Development Goals? We talked with a lot of people who are already working on the SDGs, working on youth, fantastic partnerships. The Global Partnership for Sustainable Development Data is a big partner, Geospago, Silicon Valley startup doing GIS mapping for us. This is what it looks like. You can join our roundtable discussion later to find out more, but youth can find an opportunity, they can post an opportunity, and they can measure it. Governments are spending about $2 billion a year collecting data on the SDGs. As we know, one of the big problems with the MDGs was the difficulty and the failure to collect enough data to measure progress. Governments are going to add about $1 billion a year. So we're talking $50 billion in the next 15 years to collect data and measure progress. We think that youth need to be a part of this data collection to measure progress. They can be holding governments accountable, but they can be helping governments and stakeholders, SDG stakeholders, with getting this massive amount of data. And that's what this mobile app, which is on youth's phones, working with NGOs, youth-led and youth-serving organizations can do. When you sit down with us in the roundtable later this morning, we'll go through some of the why, what, and how. What do we have so far? We've got, we think, a solution to meet a critical development need. We've got key SDG stakeholders and partners, as you saw. We've got the Silicon Valley tech startup doing the GIS mapping for us. And we've done some successful piloting and focus groups. And I'm going to be joined by a colleague, Rachel Asafrani, who was in Liberia over the summer, talking with government, stakeholders, youth, about the best way to use this and getting good critical feedback on what we had so far. Creative Associates has put some investment in this. I want to give a shout out to Mike McCabe, who when he was still with us was really the driving force behind this. What do we need? We need more partnerships. We need some support for driving the initiative. It's a little bit out of the box for Creative Associates. Usually we only work on something when we've won a bid and have funding for it, and we're out on a limb a little bit on this one. And we need more pilots. We're going to put it into our YouthPower projects. You can as well. You can put this in. This is a way to actually meet the hunger that youth have for purpose, meet the hunger they have for skills that will allow them to be successful in the workforce. And getting skills on being data enumerators, data collectors, being part of this big, hairy, audacious goal, which is the Sustainable Development Goals, gives them that. So this is something exciting that we can work with youth directly. We've heard from them this morning. When we talk with them, they say, yes, how do we get involved? What is this going to give me? What can I do? What can I learn? So thank you. Please join us at the Youth Action Mapper roundtable discussion. And before then, you can go ahead online and look it up, SDG Youth Action Mapper.org. Thank you very much.